Hello everyone, this is Mythonian,
And Casey's Crag.
and we are doing another WarLight game!
Yep. 2v2 ladder
Yay!
again, this time against Artham and Nord, both members of the WM clan.
It took a while for us to face another strong opponent, so now we're facing the 4th ranked team. They have a rating of 1992, which is the year I was born. And
After the year I was born.
okay, so we've got Artham.
Yeah. At least we weren't born in 1748. We can say that pretty confidently. Oh,
You're
it's not.
very quiet for some reason.
I'm
Speak
quiet.
up. Speak up!
I'm not.
Okay, anyways.
Okay. How about now?
Meh. Artham, best rank ever in the 1v1 is 13th place. 2v2 best rank is 4th,
Gosh,
which is where they are at.
The heck is with my screen? It's so laggy.
He's
Jeez.
played 1,163 ranked games, has won 719 of them, so something around a 60% win rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
61% 1v1, 72% 2v2, 67% 3v3, lots of 1v1s.
Yep.
Decent numbers of 3v3s, yeah. Okay.
Decent numbers of 3v3s.
Yep. Looking at his teammate, Nord. Best rank ever in the 1v1 is 11th.
You're like so far ahead of me. Because I can't even open his profile. It's taking
Tra-la-la.
forever.
He's got nearly a 70% win rate overall, with 1,061 total games played, little under 700 wins. 69% 1v1, 58% 2v2, 54% 3v3. He plays almost entirely 1v1s. Very few 2v2s and 3v3s, especially few 3v3s.
Huh.
So mainly a 1v1 player.
Yeah, obviously.
But they're ranked 4th.
Yeah, so they're obviously a pretty good team.
Yes. So we can join the game?
Yeah, we can.
Yep.
And I did.
Okay. So looking at this board,
Come on. Hold on a sec, it's loading. Come on.
you fail.
Why is it so slow? Alright. Now you can talk.
We have Nook as a wasteland, Kenya as a wasteland, Xinjiang, Shanxi, and Papua New Guinea also as wastelands. So this means a lot of the map is actually clear from wastelands.
Alright, let's look around. Well, Scandinavia is a
Is
one turn pick.
yeah. Interesting.
Well,
Okay.
Antarctica, Australia is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think we should probably do that.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, if one of us does that and then the other person focuses around Russia, I think we should be good. Russia, Scandinavia, maybe goes for the one turn Scandinavia.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
We could flip a coin. I don't know. It doesn't matter to
Choose.
me.
Choose.
I've always wanted to start from down under. I'll go for Australia.
Okay, number 1 in Scott, number 2 in New Zealand. Good luck. I'm going 1 Moscow, 2 Norway, 3 Gisège.
Sorry, what was that?
1 Moscow, 2 Norway, and actually my number 3 is going to be East China.
3 is East China.
No, I am going with Gisège in Central Russia.
What? That seems a little scary, man. That's pretty risky.
Well,
Huh.
I can be reasonably certain I'm going to get my number 1.
I just don't want you to get caught between two different players. Why would someone make Central Russia a number 1 pick? It would be.
What?
I was just afraid that you might get your number 1 in Moscow. They would get your number 2 and your.
Okay, yeah, they might. Okay, so
That
I'll
would
go
be a
for
little
East China.
scary.
That's 3.
Or maybe, actually, Central America might be better for number 3. You need a quick take.
Well,
Although it's not as safe. Well, Southeast Asia might even be better than that. No, no, no. Either East China... Well, it's so slow. East China's so slow, that's the problem. But if you had got East China, you'd be busy over there. So I guess that isn't so bad.
okay, I'll do 3 Central America, 4 to Taiwan.
For Taiwan. Alright.
And then...
I guess I could try making my 3rd in Bolivia.
Okay. My 5's gonna be Bolivia. My 6 will be just Edge.
I don't...
7 India.
I think you should put India over just Edge, personally.
Meh. Okay.
Just saying, at least if you didn't get East China, then India would be something you could use against that. I don't know. You'd be fighting everywhere.
Yep.
You'd probably need to gift me a spot in Myanmar. So I don't know. Something like that, or maybe take Hong Kong. No, you'd more likely give me a spot in the Russian area.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you doing?
Scott, New Zealand, Bolivia, and I was considering what to do next. I guess beyond that, Central America would be useless to me.
Do you really want South America as your number 3?
Why not?
I'm just not sure. Because if you miss one of your first 2, then you're not going to be able to expand over there. So it's your other one that's you're only going to be able to expand to, really.
Well,
at the start, at least.
Let's see that. Yeah, that's true. South America, but the thing is, I think South America is a likely take for this map. Well, I guess it's not as likely because of these big picks in Antarctica and Australia, but someone would get it like what I'm doing right here for number 3 or something, and I don't see how Central America would be safe. Central America does not seem like a very safe take at all. So I guess the biggest reason I have Bolivia is to make sure you would be safe over there. Because I'm expecting you to have more trouble in the Russian area than I will have in Antarctica, Australia. And also, it's not too dangerous. I mean, South America, it's got a possible problem from Ghana, but Central America is not so bad. I don't know. It seems like a good pick.
Okay, well,
I guess beyond that, I could go India number 4, and then... Sorry to interrupt. India number 4, and then... Maybe Tad?
Tad? What?
More for a support pick.
If you want to.
Well, I'd definitely get one of my first 3 picks. That's certain. I mean, it's possible that I could not get my first 2, but I would guaranteedly get my first 3.
Honestly, thinking with who our opponents are, I think that instead of doing this, overlapping would actually be better in the long run.
I don't want to overlap.
Against these guys, man, you have to assume they're going to make good picks, and if one of them's good doing what I'm doing and one of them's doing what you're doing, then we're not going to get either.
We're gonna
combo.
get one of them.
We're not going to get either combo.
We're not gonna get the whole combo. I don't think we will.
Well,
That's why we're picking...
we're 50% likely if we overlap to get the combo.
Not really.
Yeah.
You would get one half, and I would get the other half.
Yeah.
And
that's better than not having it.
It's not really possible if they go for the combo, then I'm guaranteed to get one of the two. As long as they don't overlap. Which would be sort of stupid, because the entire point of getting Australia and Scott together is that you can take Australia in... Well, actually, it would be a pretty slow one here. Never mind, forget that. It would be slow anyway.
3 turns isn't that bad.
It's not so bad, but still.
Okay, well, if you want to, then we can try overlapping in Scandinavia.
I think putting your first 2 picks over there is good enough. Really. I just don't see it as very likely that they'll get both.
That's not the point. Is that if there's no point in having either if we don't get both, really.
No, there is a point, because it's stopping them from getting both.
Okay,
and it's also allowing you to contest the area. Keep them putting guys up there and not expanding. See what I'm saying? That's why it's not so bad if as long as I get Scott. If I got Scott and he got New Zealand, that wouldn't be so bad. I would not mind that so much.
If they overlap, both of them choosing Scott as number 1, you have like a 30% chance of getting it.
A 1 in 3 chance. Yeah, I know. Why would they overlap for that?
And actually, you only have a 25% chance.
Huh?
You have a 25% chance of getting it in that situation.
No, it's still 1 in 3.
Well,
there's a 1 in 3 chance. There's a...
No, you have a 25% chance of going first.
Yeah.
Getting first move, and that's the only situation where you will get it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
In the event that I go first, they get it.
Yeah,
in the event that either of them go first, they get it.
I get what you're saying. That's true. That's true. But why would they overlap in Scott?
Because they wanted to get the bonus? I don't know, whatever. I'm just saying situations.
No matter what they do over there, with one of my first 3 picks, I'd guaranteedly be able to counter Antarctica, or at least put pressure on them over there. It's causing me to rethink these things a little bit, though, because going 1-2 in Scott and Bolivia might not be so bad. Oh, there's so much to think about. Well, I was still thinking about... I just really don't like overlapping picks on this.
Why?
In general, I don't really like overlapping picks at all.
Why?
Because it doesn't seem like the smartest answer. The correct way to solve things in most situations.
What do you mean?
A better way to do it would be to create a plan where both players support one another with their picks, instead of just...
You do that with overlapping. That's the part of the point of overlapping.
Not necessarily. You could have what happened in our game against Chris and Lobstrosity. I mean, it's things can go bad overlapping picks.
That was because we didn't have the picks in the correct order that we were supposed to.
We didn't, but things can go bad.
They can go bad no matter what you do.
Yeah, that's true. But I just don't see how. I think.
It increases the likelihood of getting the picks that you want.
Yeah, but we want a lot of picks.
Okay.
There are a lot of good picks on this board.
So you put the best picks as your first few.
Well, what are the best picks? I mean, it's not exactly a straight up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 order of best picks. It depends on what the other team gets. Not in this case.
I'm not so sure in this case. It could be. Because, for example, as you were talking about earlier, some of the bonuses in Central America, South America are very exposed in this board. Other ones are not very exposed. Other ones can be easily countered. Some are safe. And you want, like, a couple picks that are safe, a couple picks that are good counters for other picks.
What I'm afraid of happening is is really what happened in our game with Chris and Lobstrosity, where I ended up getting 2 safe picks, and you ended up getting 2 picks that were not safe in contested areas. And that's why we lost. That really is the
But that's
the
not because
reason.
of the picks.
It is because...
No, because the fact that he had Libya was completely random.
No, it wasn't random. Libya's a pretty good... I really thought Libya was a very creative way to counter West Africa and East Africa, really all of Africa. It was really cool how he came up with that. I liked it. I was very impressed. But that's all. I just don't want anything like that to ever happen. I'd rather
this isn't the solution. Not overlapping is not going to solve that.
Well, it will if we place our first few picks in separate contested areas, and then the next ones beyond that in possible safe areas. That's generally the plan I like to follow. Make the first 2 or 3 picks, put them in very, very areas that you expect to be fought over, and then the next few in picks that you consider safe, and the last 1 or 2 in areas that you think would counter the safe picks.
And how does that make it any less likely that one person is next to both of the enemies?
Well, because you're really guaranteed to get one of your first 2 picks, and then...
No, you're not.
One of your first few. One of your first 3.
Just like you would be if you overlapped.
Yeah. But beyond that, I just like focusing in different areas. I generally think that's the best idea for a picking strategy. Is for 2 players to focus in different areas and make their picks where they will support one another, and it's not guaranteed that you will support one another, but it becomes more likely because that's how you designed your picks. You didn't design your picks with a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight on through order where you both overlap and what picks you get is random.
It's not random.
It's not random, but one person is likely to get the top pick, or one of the top few picks, one of the top 2 picks, really. And then they're likely to get one of the back picks, too. Meanwhile, the other player is more likely to get 2 of the middle picks. And that's how things tend to go. And it seems like that's not the best way to go. Alright?
I'm not seeing how this is any better than that.
Alright, so what do you want to do exactly? You said you want to overlap picks.
Moscow, Scandinavia.
Alright.
And then Central America, East China.
Alright.
And then after that, I'm not entirely sure how to Let's do it. We should have one in Scott, definitely.
Well, that's pretty much. Scott would just be yeah. Would just be for informational purposes at that point. Someone would pick it. So then we'd know someone was in Scott, but that's not a bad idea. And beyond that,
Probably going Bolivia 6, then maybe India, South Africa.
All right. Well,
Or I'm not sure about South Africa.
we'd be guaranteed to get one of the spots in Scandinavia.
What?
We'd be guaranteed to get one of the spots sorry, not Scandinavia, in the Russian area up there.
Hold on, what are you talking about?
I was talking about what you just said, what your list of picks would do for us.
Oh.
Yeah, we'd be guaranteed one of the spots in...
We wouldn't be guaranteed.
Yeah, we would.
I'm not sure if it's guaranteed that we get our 1-2.
No, we'd be guaranteed one of those two. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah. We would not be guaranteed both, and in fact, I'd be sort of surprised if we did get both. But, let's see. Then we would... Beyond that, what were your 3 and 4 were in Baja, in Taiwan. It's hard to judge beyond that. Huh. Oh.
What are you thinking?
I'm just considering what we'd get based on your picks. We would definitely get Scandinavia or West Russia. East China and Central America, I'm not so sure about. I guess it would be reasonably likely we'd get those, but it would probably be one person starting in Scandinavia or West Russia, and the other person starting with both East China and Central America. Because they don't really, to me, those two don't seem particularly high up there on the list for the other team. I just don't know if I'd go for them as a top priority. So it seems to me like one person could get both Central America and East China. And then, beyond that, the other person would get whatever was left.
True. So what are you recommending?
Well, that doesn't really seem like a good idea for someone to get Central America and East China.
Should we go with Antarctica being number 3 instead? If those two aren't high priority, what is high priority in this situation?
Scott is high priority. In all likelihood, anyway. It's very high up on the possible list, possible picks that someone would have. Like someone, like we were thinking earlier, would pick number 1 in Scott and number 2 in New Zealand or something like that. See what I'm saying? It seems very, very likely. So that would probably just get skipped over. And then we'd end up going to to our previous 3 and 4. In general, I just don't really like that.
Okay, how would you order the picks?
I guess if we were going to, it, it just seems so hard because when it comes to overlapping picks, that's the way things tend to work. One person gets a top pick and a back pick, and the other person gets the middle 2 picks.
Sometimes.
Or not the middle 2 picks, but the 2 high up middle picks, 3 and 4, typically. Or something like that, depending on how you ordered them. And, well, depending on how prioritized they were by the opposing side. Yeah. And what I don't want to... Oh, man. If we were going to order them, we'd have to order them by where we think people would contest. And then it would... like, if we were going to overlap our picks, we'd have to do, like, Norway, Moscow, Scott, and Namibia. South Africa. And then... we'd have to... Basically, what I'm saying is we'd have to make our top picks the picks that our opponents would be most likely to go for. And then we'd have to make the very back picks, the Central America and East China. But the problem with that is that someone could end up with 1 and the other person could end up with just contested area picks again. Because they'd end up with 2 middle picks. And it's so hard to predict things with overlapping picks. Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't
Hello?
think that's that hard to predict. Hold on. Okay. In the event of us getting 1 but not 2,
Mm-hmm. That person up there would be fighting.
what?
Yeah. That person up there would have someone to fight, yeah. And
Yes, and then in that situation you're pretty likely to get 3. You have a 50% chance of getting 3 or a 50% chance of getting Norway. And then if you happen to miss those, then you would go to number 4, which you're guaranteed to get.
which would be Baja or East China in this case? What were you thinking?
Either. We can switch it with East China, it doesn't matter.
I like Baja a little better.
Okay. So you would be guaranteed 4 if you miss 2 and 3. So
Alright.
choose 4 as something that you think we should guaranteedly have.
Well, if we missed 2 and 3, then I'd be afraid that they'd have Antarctica, so I'd want to have either South Africa or Bolivia. Either one as my 4.
Keep in mind it's also possible to get that even if we don't skip number 2 or number 3.
What do you mean? Keep in
Like,
mind that
if we do get 1, 2, and then they get 3 or something, and then we go to 4, then, or if they get 2 but you get 3 and 4 or something.
okay.
Just there's that situation as well,
Yeah, and
which is actually more likely.
that way things also seem a little difficult. Are you saying if we basically
switch Taiwan with Baja, so we've got 1 Moscow, 2 Norway, 3 South Pole, 4 Bolivia, 5 Taiwan.
Alright. 4, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 is Baja, 5 is Taiwan. 6
4 is Bolivia, 5 is Taiwan, 6 is Baja.
Hmm. I still see the possibility that well, I guess South America's not so bad here. Being a place where you would fight. You'd be very likely to get one. Well, guaranteedly, we'd get one of our first 2 picks, and then Antarctica. Oh, 5 in East China, and then 6 in Central America.
Mm-hmm.
And what about 7 and 8?
India, South Africa.
Eh. Um. Feels like something similar to before, though, where someone might end up with South Africa, Scandinavia, or West Russia. That would be bad if you start
that. Okay, if someone gets the number 1 pick.
Well, whoever got the number 1 pick would be the person to get South Africa.
Okay, out of the first 4 picks, we're guaranteed to get 2. Okay, one of the 1-2s and then one of the 3-4s.
Yeah.
And then out of 5, 6, 7, and 8, we're guaranteed another 2.
Yeah. And the person who got the Scandinavia or West Russia pick would be guaranteedly the same person if we made South Africa our number 8 pick. They would be guaranteed to get South Africa.
They would not be guaranteed to get South Africa.
I'm saying if they didn't. Sorry, I'm not. That's not what I mean. I'm describing it wrong. They would be the only possible person that would start in South Africa. That's what I'm trying to say. You wouldn't be guaranteed to take it. That's not what I meant. Although I think I said it wrong. But you're supposed.
That's true.
So that's a problem.
So should we switch up South Africa, make it number 6?
All right. Basically, are you saying make Baja number 8?
Or India number 8? Either one. What do you think should be number 8?
I don't really like someone starting in Bolivia and South Africa. That would be bad.
Okay, then let's just not use South Africa then. And it wouldn't really be that bad. I don't see how that would be bad.
Well, one person starting in Antarctica would be able to keep them from expanding properly. No, actually in South Africa, you could try and go for Novo first, and then, I guess, expand or something. Or you could go for Sipple first and expand in South Africa, but it would be troublesome. Or you could try and gift Novo. That's not as bad. Okay, Norway, Moscow, Scott, Bolivia, Taiwan, South Africa, Baja, India.
Yep.
Alright. So let's assume one person starts in Scandinavia or West Russia, one person also starts in Scott or Bolivia. And then one person starts... Well, the same person that started in Antarctica or in Bolivia would also probably start in South Africa or East China. That's not so bad. And then whoever started in West Russia, Scandinavia, at the worst. Might be starting in Central America, Southeast Asia. Alright, that's not so bad. Alright, well, I guess we can go with this. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Now let's see, what would be the good scenario, though? Let's say we started with both Scandinavia and West Russia. Guy in Scandinavia would not be able to expand anywhere over there, but we would almost definitely not get our Antarctica if we did that. We might still get South America. If not, then East China. And alright, I like these. I like these. I like these pretty good.
Yep.
Good thinking went into these picks. Good thinking.
Yep, a half hour's worth of thinking.
Hey man. Sometimes gotta take things seriously. Alright, I guess we'll see what happens when territories are distributed.
Yep.